Here we are. It's a slightly cloudy Sydney morning after a fantastic weekend, beautiful weather, even though we're in lockdown. And at midnight last night, we went into even further lockdown. So I hope that you're doing all right. I hope you're staying safe and well. And what I've done is I've just released a post. Actually, I've created a wellness checklist because so many people are feeling so very, very stressed. And I thought we all need a little bit of help. So I created a really pretty wellness checklist that you can download. So if you just go to my LinkedIn profile, you'll be able to see my latest post as the wellness checklist. And if you click on it, it will open up as a PDF, which you can download as a reminder, or you will be able to click on the active links because it'll take you to my free How to Manage Stress online program if you're feeling the effects of ongoing lockdowns and it's all getting a little bit too much for you. Okay, so if you're watching this morning, please feel free to pop in the chat box where you're watching from, because I'd love to know where you are. Oh, I've just noticed there are some comments already. Andy, good morning, Andy. You're back again. How lovely to have you here. I hope you had a good weekend. It was great weather, wasn't it, Andy? But just lockdown. And Jürgen, hello Jürgen, also from Sydney, and Lisa, good morning from Auckland. How are things over there for you? I hope that they're doing all right and you're doing a little bit better than we are over here. Now, the whole point of today is interview preparation, and as you know, I'm doing this series of LinkedIn Lives. This is number 7, and I've been going through how to prepare for an effective job search by either preparing your resume or else getting your LinkedIn preparation done. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to be talking about behavioral questions you can ask, how to follow up after an interview, how recruiters perceive you, your marketing plan, LinkedIn strategy, personal branding, getting your LinkedIn profile as strong as possible. So I've got lots of things that I'm going to be covering for you. And I'm only up to week 7, so I've got plenty more right through till the end of the year. So join me every Monday at 9:15 to 9:30, and I'll give you some quick tips, a little bit of inspiration if you're feeling a bit stuck in the job search. Okay, and so let's see who's somebody from Canberra. Hello. It just says LinkedIn user, so I can't see LinkedIn user. Morning, Jane. Everyone from Sydney in a lockdown LGA. Oh, are you in the really, really strong area? I can't see who you are. This one, I'll just show that. But do take care of yourself. Okay, now we can all keep commiserating, or I can get on with some business here. So I'll just hide that one. I'm going to go straight into my PowerPoint and talk about how you can prepare for some common interview questions. So let me share my screen and I'll find the PowerPoint. Here we go. Right, and then I will play from the start. Okay, so you should all be able to see this, I hope. So this is Jane Career Tips number 7. So you can see that hashtag down at the bottom. It says hashtag Jane Career Tips. If you want to see all my previous ones, my previous LinkedIn Live recordings, and last week was a good one because I was talking about how to prepare your pitch or introductory positioning statement. So go to hashtag Jane Career Tips and then look for number 6 and you'll be able to find it. Okay, so today we're talking about how to prepare to answer common interview questions. And because they're common interview questions, they're going to pop up. You may as well know what you're supposed to say or how to prepare. I can't tell you exactly what you can say because we're all different, but I can tell you what you need to do in order to prepare to answer them with confidence. Okay, so here are common interview questions. The most common one at the beginning of interviews is tell me about yourself, or tell me about your professional background, or tell me a little bit about your work history, or however they may phrase it. Now, we discussed this last week in my LinkedIn Live where we discussed your pitch or introductory positioning statement. And I had some people buy me a coffee, actually. On the Buy Me a Coffee site, and I actually did a review of their introductory pitches and made some suggestions as to how they could be stronger. So anyway, go to hashtag Jane Career Tips or follow it and you'll be able to find it. So the how to create a powerful pitch one is in tips number 6. So today, I want you to know the difference between behavioral questions and the common interview questions. So I've got 6 questions here, and you have a little bit of a think about it then, okay? Some are behavioral questions, and some are just your normal questions where you simply respond. Behavioral questions are the questions that require a story, an actual example of how you would work. Next week, so you better join me next week, I'll be talking about how to respond to behavioral questions. That's next week, okay? So look, number 1, what is your leadership style? Is that a behavioral question? No, it's not. You know what your leadership style is, or you need to find out what your leadership style is, but it doesn't require a story. Okay. Number 2, why are you the best person for this position? Now, here's where you can highlight certain things that will make you a good candidate for the role. Number 3, how have you approached the management of a new team? This is a behavioral question. They are asking you, how did you do it? So that requires a story. Talk about that next week. Okay. Number 4, where do you see yourself in the next 3 years? What are your career aspirations? It's not a behavioral question. Number 5 is describe a time when you had to make a difficult decision. This is a behavioral question because we want to hear the story. The time when you had to make a difficult decision. How did you come to your conclusion? How did you make that decision? What was the result? And number 6 is tell me how you handle pressure in the workplace. This is also a behavioral question because we want to know the story. So if you give an example of how you've handled pressure, what the situation was, the actions that you took, and what was the positive result, that's a good way to answer behavioral questions. So you can see number 1, 2, and 4, those are not behavioral questions, but they're very common questions. So moving on to the common questions, here are common ones, okay? Why did you apply for this role? Tell me about yourself. How would you approach this position? What are your key strengths? These are questions that time and time again, you're very likely to be asked in an interview. So these are questions, because they're so common, you can prepare for them, yes? Here are some more common interview questions for you as well. What is your leadership style? Why are you the best person for this role? And where do you see yourself in the next 3 years? Let's have a little bit of a think about this, yes? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check my phone just to see if there are any extra questions. Oh, hello. We've got a few more people here. Lisa Bath from Canberra. Hello, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. Carolyn McDonald. Morning, Jane. Everyone from Sydney. Yes. Kevin Camilleri. Hello, Kevin. Also from, so many people from Sydney. Caroline Skelly. Nicole. Hello, Nicole. Thanks for joining me. And thank you, Nicole Parker, for sharing my wellness checklist this morning in a post on your profile too. So I'm glad you found it helpful. They're very simple things. Oh, I need to tell you. Let me just stop sharing for a moment. Hello, Jenny. How lovely to have you join us as well from Melbourne. I'm just going to stop sharing for a moment. Here we go. Stop sharing. I'm back now. I also, in my latest post where I've got the wellness checklist that you can download, in the first comment, I have put a link to something that I created yesterday because I was thinking everyone's starting to get so miserable with all the lockdowns and they're going to carry on till the end of September. Apparently, who knows? We'll find out when we really come out of lockdown. So I created a Spotify checklist that makes me happy. They are my favorite songs with a really good beat, get you up and bopping around and dancing and feeling good. And it's 30 minutes long. So if you have a look and just click on it, you can just subscribe on Spotify or like it on Spotify, just so that you can go back to that playlist. And they're fantastic songs that always put a smile on my face, release my endorphins. I dance around, and at the end, there's a beautiful song as a cool down That's What Friends Are For. Do you remember that one from Dionne Warwick? It's such a nice song and it makes me smile. So if you want, just click and listen to the playlist. It's there, it's free, it might make you feel good. All right. I'm always trying to think of ways that's going to lift everybody's mood. Let me go back to sharing my screen again and get back to business with my, here it is, with my PowerPoint. All right. So going back, these are 4 typical interview questions. Why did you apply for this role? Tell me about yourself. How do you approach this position? What are your key strengths? And also, What's your leadership style? Why are you the best person for this role? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years? Now, these are such common questions that you can start to think about what you need to say or what you want to get across. Now, at all times, you need to look at the job description, do as much research as you can before the interview itself so that you know the core requirements of the role. Do as much research as you can into the corporate culture, why this position may be open, what is the leadership style of the hiring manager. If you can find out, perhaps your extended network will be able to give you some information. Okay, and so the more information you have, the more you are able to tailor your questions honestly. Of course, you've got to be authentic. You don't pretend to be somebody that you're not, because if you do pretend to be somebody that you're not, you get the job. Once you're in the job, you're going to have to be so out of your natural comfort zone that you probably wouldn't enjoy it anyway. So always be yourself. And if you are not the right fit for the role, well, it's not really a loss if you don't get it, because it means that you probably wouldn't have been that happy in the role anyway. But if you want to put your best foot forward, what you need to do in order to answer these questions are these things to consider. Okay, so this is how you prepare your answers. You have to have clarity about who you are and what you want, and then link it to what the requirements are for the role. A role is open because they have a problem that needs to be solved. You position yourself as the solution to their problems, you will get the job. But the better you know yourself and what your motivations are, the more authentic you can be when you're interviewing for any role. Okay, so first of all, what would be helpful to do is to sit down and think about your life and what situation you're currently in and why you are looking for a job. Okay, so conduct a life inventory, and there are several aspects of your life that you need to consider. So first of all, it's your career. How happy are you in your career to date? Are you following your career anchor? Are you, if you're currently working, are you currently earning as much as you know you deserve? Are you able to progress in your career? There are lots of questions you need to ask yourself about your career. Then think about your finances. So many questions you need to ask yourself as well. How are you financially? Are you living hand to mouth, or are you saving 10% of your income every week or every month? Are you insured? Have you got your will up to date? Have you taken care of personal business with regard to your finances? Because depending on where your finances are, it will determine how urgently you need that role and how anxious you may feel about any interview as well. If you're thinking, "Oh, I just hope I get a job, any job," well, you can get any job tomorrow. Honestly, even during COVID, you can any job, but it's not going to be the right career direction for you potentially. Okay, so you need to think about, do I need money just so I can put food on the table, or do I want to get the right role for me? So I don't know what your individual circumstances are, but that will determine how you actually approach the job search process. Then think about your relationships. Do you have support in your life? Are you in a relationship? Are you in a happy relationship? Do you have family around you? And I know during COVID, even though we may have family nearby, we may not be able to see them anyway, or we definitely can't, or else you're single, you've got to nominate someone to be in your bubble. But relationships are a little bit strained at the moment. It is quite hard. So you must make sure that there's open and clear communication at all time, whether it's on the phone, WhatsApp messaging, Facebook messaging, Zoom calls, Microsoft Teams calls, whatever it is. Please maintain open communication. Then think about your environment. Where are you living right now? Where are you working? Are you getting enough fresh air? Do you have enough light? Do you have enough space to do what you need to do? How happy are you in your environment? Is your environment tidy? Have you filed all your papers away? Have you done all the ironing, or is it in a pile in the corner in a room with very bad feng shui? I'm half Chinese, half English. And so feng shui, or feng shui, if you say it in Cantonese, is very important to me. So if you've got mess or piles of rubbish everywhere, it's going to drain your energy and it's going to be negative. So you need to think, what is my environment like? Is it conducive to conducting an effective job search? And then think about your health. health concerns, not just COVID, but everything else. When was your last eye check? When was your last full medical checkup? When did you go to the dentist? Do you exercise? Are you doing strength training? Are you doing cardio training? All of these things. Conduct a life inventory so you know where you're at as a snapshot right now in all aspects of your life, because that will determine your confidence level as well. The more you understand yourself, the more you will be able to talk about yourself in interviews. Then, number 2 is understand the values that are important to you. What really drives you? Is it status, recognition, high earnings potential, awards? Or is it affiliation, dedication to a cause or service? Is it the people? Is it leadership? Is it family, or is it work-life balance? Everyone's got different values. They're all good values. There's nothing wrong with any of the values that you hold dear to yourself, but are they a good match for the environment or the organization or the people that you are targeting in those job interviews? So think about that, because your values will come up during the interview process, yes? Then identify what really satisfies you in any role, not just the money or not just the people, but everything else that you may not have considered. Maybe having a short commute is very satisfying for you. Maybe working from home is very satisfying for you. Maybe having part-time work or flexible work or full-time work is satisfying for you. Maybe you like pressure. Maybe you love deadlines. Maybe you love competition. Now, what is it that you really enjoy about the industry that you're in or that you're targeting, the company that you're in or that you're targeting, the job function that you're in or that you're targeting, okay, and the people around you and your boss. So think about what satisfies you, what motivates you about any of those things, and what is it that demotivates you about the industry, the company, the people around you, and all of that. So if you think about your past roles, there will be a common thread of things that just cheese you off, okay, and things that make your heart sing. And what you want is more of the common threads that make your heart sing. Then you'll be able to actually come up with some questions yourself to ask in the job interview so that you can determine if you are marketing yourself into a desirable or undesirable environment. Yes? But if you're able to verbalize what really motivates you in your job interviews, it will help you to answer some of those common questions that I showed you earlier. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. Just a quick pause. Jenny Adetola, hello. Adetola from Manchester. Oh my goodness. It must be late at night in Manchester now. Yes, I think. But lovely for you to have joined me. Thank you. And then number 4 is discover what are the preferred skills that you love to use. What skills have you got? How good are you at them? And how much do you enjoy using those skills? Because you can be really good at something and hate doing it. I'm really good at admin and I hate admin. So I do everything to procrastinate and avoid doing it. So if you put me in an administrative role, it would drive me nuts. It just wouldn't be right for me, even though I'm good at it. So just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you're going to be targeting more of it. What I want is what you're good at, high enjoyment level, or high competence level rather, what you're good at, high competence level and high enjoyment level, because that's where the sweet spot is. Okay, if you're good at it and you love it, well, that's where you will be able to express yourself passionately, and you want to highlight that in some of the common interview questions, especially when they say, why should we hire you? Yes, and then you can talk passionately about what you can do that is a good fit, and also how much you enjoy doing it and you'd love more of it. That all makes quite a lot of sense. Yes. Do you have any questions at all? Because everyone's saying hello and thank you, and oh, it's lovely that you're here. But if you do have any questions, you better ask soon, because I'm going to be ending in a minute because I've got a coaching call starting at 10. Okay. So has that given you something to think about to help you prepare? I'm just going to go back in the slides. Okay, and back again one more. All right, so you think about, why did you apply for this role? What are your key strengths? How would you approach this position? If you understand yourself, you can answer these questions honestly, yes? And then what is your leadership style? You've thought about it. Why are you the best person for the role? What are your skills that you've got that are relevant for the role that you love doing? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years? What's motivating for you? What are your satisfiers? What do you hope to be happening in the next 6 months, 12 months? Now, if anyone asks you, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? I think that's ridiculous, because who can predict? We couldn't have predicted global financial crises. We didn't predict global pandemics. You know, I mean, honestly, just looking ahead the next 6 to 12 months is about as far ahead as I'm looking at the moment. So where would you hope to see yourself in the next 3 years? If you understand yourself, you can answer those questions, right? So conduct an inventory of yourself, and then you will be able to answer those questions a lot more easily. Now, I've got something that is quite helpful for you, okay, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. What you need to do is to link what you want with what they need, and what they want with what you need as well. So it goes back and forth, okay? If you get that sweet spot, if you are the best fit, you will get the job. So just to let you know, to help people, my Career Clarity Pack, this is something that I created that's got all of these fantastic exercises, and it's one of my most popular products that people can get. In it, there is the big life inventory that makes you think. It's also got an additional exercise where you identify what you're actually tolerating in your life, because if you know what you're tolerating, because there are irritating things going on in all of our lives right now. Admit it. Yes, they are. Okay. So if you know what you're tolerating and you're aware of it, then you can take steps to remove the toleration. It frees up your energy so that you can focus on your job search or your career progression. All right. I've got a values assessment in there, which is very comprehensive. I have a work satisfiers and dissatisfiers assessment, so you can go into the nitty-gritty of what really motivates you and what demotivates you, and why. The why is really important. And then how to identify your transferable skills, and also your areas for improvement, and the enjoyment level. We need this, especially if you're thinking about pivoting your career a little bit or making a bit of a change. And finally, in my Career Clarity Pack, I have a personal mission statement where you think about the legacy that you would like to leave. What is the legacy that we would like to leave in our lives, for our family, for our community, for the world in general? Okay. And because when we know, then that is our ultimate goal, and we will be able to manage our careers more effectively when we know where we want to go. All right. So if you're interested in the Career Clarity Pack, pop in the chat box yes, and I can send you the link, or you can just go here. It's a bit.ly link. So if you go to bit.ly/clarity pack, you will get to my Career Clarity Pack. And just because you're listening on LinkedIn, I've created a 50% off special because it's COVID days. So I'm trying to be nice here. LinkedIn special is the coupon code. So if you apply, it will immediately drop to half price. So if you want it, then you can go there. Let me just check comments here. Good. Oh, Yogan, yes, thank you. A new way of thinking about approaching a new role. Yeah, that's right. Namita. Oh, hello, Namita. You said that we could follow to answer to. Yeah, that's right. It's so important to have a few tips. And then Carolyn said, great tips and examples. Thank you, Yogan. Yes, okay, right, lovely. Well, here is the link, but I can also pop it into the chat in a minute as well, okay? And so every Monday, 9:15, I will be here. And if you follow hashtag Jane Career Tips, you'll be able to see all of my previous ones, all right? So let me just have a quick look at the chats just to see if I've missed any questions. Thank you for joining us, Namita and Yogan. And there's a LinkedIn user here. Yeah, I'll just put this. Great tips to yes, that's right. Thank you so much. And Yogan, how lovely. Oh, your name pops up there. Thank you so much. And I don't know why sometimes I can't see who it is. Like here it says LinkedIn user, yes, but I can't see, but I'll be able to see on my phone. And here, please provide the link. Okay, so here it is, bit.ly Career Clarity. Okay, there you go. So that should be in the comments. Okay. Oh, actually, I don't think that you can get to it like that. I need to go https bit.ly Career Clarity. There we go. That should be hyperlinked. Fingers crossed. Let's see if it is. maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Anyway, if you can go there, just type it into the URL and you'll be able to get there. Also, I have something else for you that is free. Here we go. Put this one here. If you're feeling a little bit stressed and you want my How to Manage Stress course for free, okay, just go to www.thecareersacademy.online/confidence, and you'll go to a landing page where it has the coupon code. It's actually Be Happy, and you'll get the course for free, and then you can take it and it'll help you to manage, you know, the frustration, anxiety, stress, or whatever you might be feeling during these COVID days. And normally it's 125 Aussie dollars, 97 US dollars, but it's free if you are going through some angst right now. All right. So thank you so much for listening. I really need to go. I've gone over time. I always go over time. I always say 9:15 to 9:30, and it always ends up being about 9:40. So sorry about that. I'll let you get back to your day, and I hope that you have a very safe week and productive week. Take care of yourself, and if we're not connected, send me a request to connect, or you can follow me on LinkedIn. If you've got any questions at all, pop them in the comments, or else send me a direct message, and I'm very happy to respond as well. If you ever want to buy me a coffee, you can always go to Buy Me a Coffee /Jane. Yeah, in fact, maybe I'll just create one and show you. If you go to Buy Me a Coffee .com/Jane Career Coach. There we go. I'll pop that in there. Show it. Yes. You can always, and you want a LinkedIn review, say I'm providing LinkedIn reviews if you want to do that as well. So you can go over there and just have a look. You can subscribe and follow me there too. Okay. But the important thing is to get this for free if you're feeling stressed. All right. So that's it for now. I'm going to say toodle pip. And just double check in the comments if there's anything else. Thank you so much for joining me today, and good luck with your job interviews. Let me know how you go. Okay, take care now. Bye.